This is Dennis Mason with your evening report. The only thing which has been clarified with the release of the IAEA report is the British intention of waging a world war of genocide in the very near term. There's nothing intrinsically new and refreshing in that document, no smoking gun. And yet the call for a strike on Iran, the call to unleash a new world war, continues. Why? Remember, the biggest threat to peace and security in the free world, we were told, was Muammar Gaddafi. And then, the most important threat to the common good was Syria. And now, it's Iran. Who's next in line should we avert this push to strike Iran? Now, this begins to get at what Mr. LaRouche is talking about in referring to the Middle East as the new Balkans. The intent is to get a general war going. The particular flashpoint is subsidiary to that intent, almost an afterthought. As General Hoare put it in an interview with Executive Intelligence Review magazine, "I'm afraid that this thing is going to be a fait accompli before anyone talks about it seriously in this country. That it's just going to happen one morning. We're going to wake up and the strike has been conducted and the Iranians are attacking shipping in the Gulf. And the fact that this thing was initiated by the Israelis is going to be lost in the background clutter." Again, why the war? A world war which would wipe out entire languages. Why? And why now? The window for launching a general war will not stay open forever. And we should have no illusions. A general war, a nuclear war of genocide, is the goal of the empire. These people, the oligarchs, they don't think like you or I, or many leading military strategists and statesmen. The line of thinking where you come to the conclusion they would never do that, or that could never happen, it's too terrible to consider. This is simply not the way these people think. The openly stated policy of the British is to reduce the population of the world to less than 1 billion people. Now think about that for a minute. 6 out of every 7 people gone. That is their intention and has been for some time. Now, if this were your serious intent, how would you carry it out? Now look at the world's food supply. The measures which ought to have been taken over the course of the past year to ensure enough to eat worldwide were not taken. If your serious and stated intent were to reduce the world's population on this kind of a scale, wouldn't you be interested in creating the conditions by which nuclear war could actually come about? As the Empire's Bertrand Russell has said, the world would be a rotten place. But so what? Really high-minded folks aren't concerned about happiness, especially the happiness of others. Those high-minded folks, the oligarchs, would actually prefer a world after a nuclear holocaust, as long as their system remained viable, and more importantly, any challenger to their system were completely eradicated. As the transatlantic world disintegrates, would you, if you were one of these oligarch creeps, tolerate a cooperation among Russia and China which could provide some stability? Would you risk the chance that these uncivilized brutes, to the oligarchs' thinking, might even outlive your imperial system and crush it? Especially when the means to destroy that stability were right at your fingertips in the form of the United States military and the nuclear arsenal under the control of a Barack Obama.